Hello students, today we'll discuss IB Math SL paper 1, May 2018, time zone 1. My name is Nariman Melim, my mobile is given, my email is given, so we can communicate. Let's start. Section A, question 1. We are given two functions, and we should write down the values. Value f over 14. So to evaluate f, we should substitute instead of x 14. We do it and we get 4. Next question. Find composite value of composite function at x equals 14. So what means g and then f? It means that first f acts and then this value is taken by g. So let's do step by step. At x equals 14, f equals, as we found, 4. It means that g of 4 we should find. To find g of 4, we again substitute instead of x 4. 3 times 4 minus 7 give us 5. So this question is done. Find inverse function of g. So standard method. First we write the function, then we change x and y, swap x and y. Step 1, swap y and x. We did it. Then solve for y. We did it. So this function we call inverse of g. So question is done. Let's go further. Question 2. Question 2. The following box and whiskey plot shows the number of text messages sent by students in a school on a particular day. So here we see boxes, and we should find the value of interquartile range. Here I recommend you not to think much, but to act more. So I have copied this diagram, and I tell you that 4 is Q1, 11 is Q3, and 9 is median. And interquartile range equals difference of Q3 and Q1. Here it is 7. One student sent k messages where k is more than 11. Given that k is an outlier, find the least value of k. K is outlier if it is, so it is more than 11, so somewhere here. K is outlier if it is further or farther from K3 than 1.5 of interquartile range. So we make an equality, substitute what we found, Q3 is 11, IQR we found is 7, so we found 21.5. As it is text messages, the value should be integer, so we take 22, so this question is done. Question 3. Question 3 is about just a moment, let's find this. Question 3. Consider a function. So we have function. This is diagram of this function. We should find the value of f0. So when x is 0, f is minus half. Done. Value of inverse function at x equal 1. So inverse function means that we should change y and x. So what we see here, it means that when y is 1, how much is x? So when y is 1, x is 2. So this is another solution. Question 3. So next, on the grid above, sketch the graph of inverse function. So I have drawn it here. So this is our function. Inverse will be reflection over y equals x. So you draw accurately y with ruler y equals x, and then you find, for example, this point 2 1 becomes 1 2, 1 0 becomes 0 1. This point is common, this point is common, and then you draw a smooth line. So this question is done. Question 4. So we have a function, quadratic function. So the graph of quadratic will be parabola, inverted or upright. A horizontal line intersects the graph at x equals -1 and x equals 3. AI, equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals p. Find p. So two possible cases are drawn here, and we understand that our axis of symmetry should be midway between the points of intersection. So we find the midpoint. So -1 plus 3 is 2. We divide by 2, so midpoint is 1. So p equals 1. The equation of L is y equals 5. Find the value of c. So we have intersection of two graphs. They have common xy coordinates at 2 points. So we use this idea. So y is equals k is horizontal line. Find the value of first we should find a. Right, so we take 2 points, the value of 2 at 2 points, using this formula, substituting x equals -1 and then x equals 3, the values are the same. Equating these two expressions, we cross out c and we get a equals 2. Hence shows that a equals 2. So we did. Equation of line is y equals 5. Finds the value of c. Intersection of points coincides, hence function, so at -1 is 5. Our function also is 5. And we can use one of the, so we can use this formula. So a, we know it is 2. At x equals -1, all expression is 5. So we have equation from which we find c equals 1. Done. Question 5. Let f be the function. Find integral of f squared. Let's do it. Right. So first we find square. Square will be 1 over 2x minus 1. So we try to find integral. We simplify this to 1 over t, and we take t equals 2x minus 1. Then dt will be 2 dx, and dx will be half dt. So we substitute expression, so 2x minus 1 is our t, So we have standard integral. It is logarithm, and because x is more than half, it is always positive, so we have this value for the integral, and of course we should add here plus c. Right. B. Part of the graph is shown on the following diagram. Find the volume of the solid formed when R is revolved 360 degrees about the axis. So we use booklet formula, volume of revolution about x-axis, so it is pi function squared dx from 1 till 9. As we found the indefinite integral before, we use this to find definite integral. We just put values from 1 till 9, and we subtract from 9 till 1, and we have the answer pi over 2 logarithm 17. This question is done. Write 6 equilateral triangles, each of size 3 centimeters, are arranged to form a hexagon. This is shown in the following diagram. So we have vectors P, Q, and R, as of course this triangle has angle 60 degrees, so this angle is 60 degrees, angle between P and R is 120. So find product of P and this expression. So let's look to solution straight. Product of two vectors, any two vectors, is magnitude of one vector times magnitude of another vector by cosine. Oh, mistake here. Cosine. Everywhere cosine. 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 Remember, cosine. Sine is for vector product. Cosine. Very good. Right. So we expand brackets as algebra, normal algebra. So we get P times P, P times R, P times Q and R. Then we need, so values are the same. So this is why we have 3 squared taken out of brackets. Inside we have cosine, angle between P and R, angle between P and Q, and angle between P and R. Here P and P, which is 0. So here we have sine, again sine, so this is my mistake, misprint, cosine, everywhere cosine. Третий попался. Косайн, ну косайн нуля же там будет. Question с нуля. Равно единице же. Right. So cosine 0, 1, cosine 60, half, cosine 120, minus half. So as a result, the answer is 9. So this question is done. Section B. So question 7 first. Just a moment. Question 7. Question 7. Consider fx, gx, gx, ax. So h is composite function. Given that g of 3 is 7. So let's look what we have here. Right. So find the gradient of normal to the curve h. So gradient of normal times gradient of tangent equals minus 1. Gradient of normal equals minus 1 over gradient of tangent. So let's try to find gradient of tangent of function h. It is derivative of h at point 3 as they want. To find derivative of composite function, first we should use chain rule. So we find derivative of first function and then derivative of what is inside. And all data that are given, we use derivative of, so g of 3 is given, derivative of g is given, f derivative at g3 is 7, so we take minus 5, so all these values are given, we substitute, we get minus 20, then we use this formula, substitute, and we get 120, so this question is done. Only now section B, question 8. So we have function has derivative, the graph has intercept at x equals minus 1. Find fx. Solution. Solution I have a bit below, so we should find the solution. Right. Okay. So the function itself is found as integral of its derivative. So we found integral. X-intercept means that y equals 0. So we have when f equals x equals minus 1, the value is 0. So we substitute values, we find c, and only now we can announce how much is c. c is minus 8. The graph of f has a point of inflection at x equals p. Find p. Point of inflection, second derivative is 0. So second derivative, we find second derivative out of first derivative, and we find that if this happens at -3, so p equals -3. Question is done. Find the value of x for which the graph is concave down. Here we have different situations, either that way or this way. We need concave down, so we need region where second derivative is negative. So what we know? We know point of inflection, so we take -4, we take -2, we take -4, and depending which sign we have, we choose either left side or right side. So we make sign diagram. F is concave up. When f second is derivative, we need concave down, so f second is negative. So for this function, when x equals -4, so it is less than -3 to the left, second derivative is negative. This is what we need. This is why we choose this region. So this question is done. Question 9. Point A has coordinates, point B has coordinates. Show that AB is this is standard question. So vector AB is constructed by difference of OB minus OA. So OB is coordinate of B, OA is coordinate of A. We substitute, we subtract each coordinate accurately, we get this question. The line L passes through A and B. Find vector equation. Vector equation, so we take one point and we take segment or vector along this line and parameter t. So we put these values, parameter t is multiplied and added, so this is expression that we need. Find C such that it is on the line. Shows that k equals 14. So some point is on the line. It means that our equation is satisfied by this point. So our point, our equation parametric. So for some t this happens. To find, we just, so expression for k we have, but we need t. So we have 12 and we have here expression equals this expression, so we find t, parameter t, and then we find k from this parameter t, so this is 14. This question is done. Right, C, I, think I confused questions, so this is double I. Now CI. In CI we should find dot product. Dot product, there is formula booklet, so it is 0.1 x1 times x2 y1 times x2, right? And here we need coordinates of vectors. So we substitute and we get 0. Why it is 0? Because angle is 90 degrees. So OB, so find the angle. Because dot product is 0, cosine is 0. We know that these are not 0 vectors. So theta equals pi over 2. Point D is on L and has coordinates so much. Find the area of triangle. So I have decided to draw the situation. So point D, point C. So we should find area of triangle. In this triangle OCD, we already know that OB is perpendicular to AB. It means that OB is height. DC we can find, it will be base, and we can find the area of triangle. Triangle is not shown here. Right, so area of triangle, it will have height base, half OB and magnitude of OB and magnitude of CT. Magnitude of OB is coordinates of B squared and square root, so we have 6. For OC, which we had it in form of K, so we substitute K equals 14, we get the values. So, and OD, do we need OD here? Yeah, OD we don't need. Right, so we need OC and O. Just a moment. OC, OB and DC. OB and DC. OB and DC. OB and to find CD, we need two vectors, OC and OD. And to find the value of vector, we should find difference square of each coordinate. We substitute these values and we get square root of 125. We substitute everything, so this question is done. Question 10. Find the first two terms of infinite geometric sequence R1. Find the expression for R in terms of theta. Right, so when we divide second by first, we will find the ratio, which is R. So this is the expression. This question is done. Find the possible values of R. So sine is because they tell us that we are between 0 and 2 pi, not 0, not 2 pi, and theta is not equal to pi, so sine is never 0. This is why we can say that sine squared is, so I think this is nonsense. Okay, sine squared is between 1 and 0, excluding 0. We multiply all three parts by 2/3 and we have expression. So our R is between 0, not excluding 0, and between 2/3. Shows that the sum of infinite sequence is so much. That's very simple. So this is the formula from booklet. We substitute value. We arrange 3 as 2 and 1, and we recognize that 1 minus 2 sine squared is double angle identity, so it is cosine to theta. Right. Find the value of theta which gives the greatest value of sum. Because we have ratio, it is greatest when denominator is minimum. Denominator minimum is when cosine is minus 1. Cosine is minus 1 for this region, two values, pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Finished. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time.